Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rahu Ketu and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. The day is about to come, 18th of May, when Rahu and Ketu are moving signs. They are entering Aquarius and Leo for the next 18 months till the end of 2026. This is by far the biggest astrological shift of the year, the third major transit that is happening within the month of May. In this video, I'm going to give you very precise insights in terms of what you could expect based on your ascendant sign or based on your moon sign. At the physical level, you must read this transit from your ascendant sign. At the mental level, you can read this from your moon sign. These are lunar nodes, shadowy planets. Rahu and Ketu are integral part of the moon. One is the north node, the other is the south node. Their transits activates cycles, triggers life events, and this is by far the most important transit of the year 2025. So for the Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs, now this transit is happening in your 11 and 5 axis, where Rahu Maharaj is now going to enter your 11th house and Ketu is going to be entering in your 5th house. These are shadowy planets, lunar nodes. They're always retrograde, always working in a reverse direction. They're karmic planets, and this activates cycles based on their transit, based on the placement. And of course, they're making a transit in the sign of Saturn and Sun, which is Aquarius and Leo. We could expect greater authority shifts, leadership shifts, issues with government, issues with public, all of these things. Rahu and Ketu both are illusion. They are Mayavi grahas. Rahu is all about acceptance, accept your weaknesses and matters pertaining to the house. Ketu is about separation, it's about liberation. It is a cut which makes you step away from the situation. So these are both opposite energies. 11th house is your social house. Okay, you see network from this house, how you gain from your network. It is the house of your income. It is the house of the opposite people, the house of the public. It also represents your enemies, bigger enemies, because it is 6 from the 6th house. This is the Labh Bhav or the house of gains. This is also one of the Upachaya Bhavas. 3, 6, 10 and 11 are Upachaya houses, houses of growth. And 11th is the highest Upachaya Bhava, the highest of house of growth, because after overcoming all the competition in your life and having a lot of free will, this house has a very greater importance. Rahu does very well in the 11th house. So having a natal placement of Rahu in the 11th or transit, it's a blessing to have, because this is a huge opportunity for you to have an increased surge in your social network. So you would expect yourself to influence with people, to network with some highly authoritative people and gain by some unconventional means. So this is the house of gains. Rahu is a very unconventional planet. So you would like to adopt different ways and different methods when it comes to having an income. Now, on the darker side, this can also probably not be in line with your ethics. So you could probably have other ways of earning income. So you have to be very careful and stay ethical all through the time. Rahu gives very strong desires when it is making a transit in this house, because this is the Kama trine. So 3, 7, 11 is the Kama trine. And of course, it will give you huge desire to meet up with people, to expand your social circle, to go out there, to connect with people, how you can gain financial profits, how you can increase your finances. This will be there all through your mind. Okay, but you have to be aware of any alliances that you make during this time. So you have to be very careful of establishing any partnerships, any alliances, because you could be susceptible to manipulation. So you have to be very careful of other people. Now, depending on the natal placement of Saturn in your chart, if you have a strong, well-disposed Saturn, this could be quite a beneficial transit for you. Ketu on the other side, in Leo, Ketu is a fiery planet and it does very well in the sign of Leo. It's in a comfortable position. It's making a transit to the 5th house. So lunar nodes and natural malefic planets are not considered very good when they're making a transit in the trinal house. So therefore, you definitely need remedies during this time. But this will lead to disconnection, separation, isolation with regards to matters pertaining to this house. So 5th house represents your future. It is Purva Punya, some deeds that you've accumulated from your past life and how it is going to manifest in terms of your future. So therefore, we see children from this house. We see unconditional love from this house. So this could probably cause little bit of a disconnection from your love life. So you definitely have a relationship karma. But on the brighter side, this time will give you a lot of internal focus, because when you work in isolation, when you work by yourself, you reflect. You're more creative, you're more strategic. So you have to bring in creativity at work. You have to bring in the strategic element. You have to be careful while dealing with your finances, because you will have a high impulsiveness when it comes to managing your finances. You will make impulsive investment decisions, impulsive expenses. So you have to take care of your money, save your finances. You also have a huge opportunity to build your intuitive intelligence, because Ketu naturally represents intuitiveness. So this will be high. So of course, if you are in the business of consulting, if you advise people, if you coach people, if you deal with other people's behavior, this is quite good. But this time period will make you very much grounded. So you will be less focused about, of course, dealing with your finances and managing your money. So these energies are very opposite. And how you manage the balance, you need to strike a balance between these energies, right? Because there is a pull towards the material comforts, gains, and of course there is a push towards the inner creativity as well, your inner curiosity. Socially, you would like to expand, but at the same time, emotionally, you would feel distant from these people. So you will go in events, you will meet up with people, but this emotional connect will be very difficult. So this is something which you have to watch out for, right? Now, in order to channelize the energies, you have to remedy Jupiter. So your remedy will come from Jupiter. A Jupiter mantra, Guru mantra, such as Om Guruve Namah, will be very good for you to channelize the energies of both Rahu and Ketu. Or you could use a Shiva mantra, worship Lord Shiva. He is the one who can protect you during this time, and I wish you the very best. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs. Now this transit is happening in your 10th house and the 4th house. So your 10 and 4 axis is involved, where Rahu Maharaj will be moving in your 10th house in transit in Aquarius, and Ketu Maharaj will be moving in your 4th house in the sign of Leo. Rahu co-rules the sign of Aquarius. Okay, it is your co-10th lord along with Shani, who's a Yoga Karaka planet for you. Therefore, it's in a comfortable position. So some of the best houses for Rahu is 3rd house, 6th house, 10th house, 11th house, because these are the houses of growth. These are Upachaya Bhavas, and Rahu likes to thrive in these environments. 10th house is also the highest Kendra house, the highest quadrant house. It represents your work, your profession. Career is seen from this house, your actions in the society, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world. This is the karma sthan, right? Whether you become a karma yogi or not, how good your work will be, how satisfying will it be, is dependent from the 10th house. Rahu is all about expansion and illusion at the same time. So initially it will cause a lot of confusion with regards to your career choices, with regards to decisions pertaining to work. But it will create expansion if you thrive on innovation. So you need to innovate to expand career opportunities. If you work in a multinational setup, or if you're looking forward to joining a potential MNC or working with people from other cultures, different countries, different background, this could be a favorable time for you, because this time period will help you build some foreign connections, give you some foreign opportunities, help you travel outside of your home country to other places, distant lands. You might also get some very new and unusual roles or projects. This time period would demand serious upskilling, because you will have to learn something that you've never done. You will be asked, you will be forced to do something by your superiors, by your bosses, to take up an assignment which you've not done in the past. This is also a huge opportunity in case you have a favorably disposed Saturn, Rahu, and in case you're going through a nice dasha. This time period can bring fame, and of course will make you involved in workplace politics. You will not be able to stay away from workplace politics. You will have to have a diplomatic approach. Rahu is a politician, so it wants you to have that kind of approach at workplace. It is not about pleasing everyone, but towards the end of the day, you have to follow the path of Saturn. Keep doing what you do or feel is right, and keep doing your work. It's not about hard work, it's about your efforts, the genuine efforts. And you will have to step into this political situation, and of course, by the virtue of your relationship, you would probably take some necessary steps. As a remedy, please ensure that you declutter your workspace. You keep it clean, nice, tidy. Make some nice arrangements at your workplace. In your office, get a couple of plants, put a couple of nice pictures, images, make it a bit vibrant, colorful, in order to channelize these energies. Ketu on the other side is the cause of all kinds of emotional detachment. So fourth house is your home, your safe space, your comfort space. So firstly, this Ketu is going to push you out of your comfort zone. Okay, so Ketu feels good in the sign of Leo because it's the fiery element. Ketu is headless, so there's a lot of fire that is burning. Leo is a fiery sign. So it will make you emotionally detached from where? From your home. So this is a cause of concern for you because you will be more focused towards your work, that you will neglect your personal life, your family life, your home, your comforts. So this time period, of course, you are out of your comfort zone, but make sure in order to channelize these energies, you take up a hobby or something of your interest. You might also have to deal with some issues pertaining to your property, pertaining to your real estate, in case your dasha antadasha is such, and particularly whether your mother is involved, or your spouse is involved, or other relatives are involved. You will have to deal with some of these issues. Whether you will be successful, whether you will gain from it or not, would really depend on your ongoing dasha antadasha. Ketu is also the significator of construction when it comes to the fourth house. So you are likely to construct something in your house, some work that you would like to do from the scratch, either construct or do some significant renovation. This could be possibly good for you. Spiritually, it's an excellent transit because Ketu is a very spiritual planet. It's the spiritual seeker, moksha seeker. 4, 8, 12 houses are the houses of moksha, spirituality. So a lot of spiritual evolution is guaranteed during this time if you focus on solitude and have a daily routine, daily practice, daily meditation practice or yoga. First 45 minutes a day is essential to remedy this Ketu, to channelize the energies of this Ketu. And based on the placement of Surya, Sun in your chart, of course we can have further assessment, but one of the remedy for you is to rise early. This is how you will strengthen your Surya, your Sun. You will have more vitality. Read Aditya Hridayam. This will prepare you for any kind of difficult battles in your life, and also the courage to face any headless enemies, whether they're at home, within your circle, or outside at work. Some of the aspects in terms of feelings, considering both in mind. So you are likely to drive yourself towards becoming successful from a professional point of view. But this will come with some emotional unrest that will be there at home. So you have to strike a balance between the two. Okay. You have to go out there in the public because you will feel a sense of emptiness, a sense of loneliness, a sense of isolation. So you have to stay connected with the people and of course take the right kind of guidance as well, and make sure that you declutter your home and your workspace, and I wish you the very best. For Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs, this Rahu Ketu transit is happening within your 9 and 3 axis, which is an important axis because this axis represents journeys, new beginnings, change of all kinds, your focus on learning and also fortune, how well learning and bhagya plays a role in your life. Rahu Maharaj is entering your 9th house and Ketu Maharaj is entering your 3rd house in the sign of Aquarius and Leo respectively for the next 18 months. Rahu is the significator of obsession, illusion, expansion, all kinds of wrong knowledge, right? If it is channelized well, it gives you the best of knowledge in the world. It gives you the best capabilities of expansion in this world. A lot of abundance it gives if it is channelized in the right manner. Since it's a significator of obsession, 9th house represents your dharma. So you will become obsessed towards your dharma, towards your religion, towards the systems that you follow, towards your upbringing, the value system that you will have. Okay, so it is likely to bring in obsessive belief systems, and of course you will be very, very strongly, you'll have a strong conviction towards it, and this could be good for you. You could be the messenger of your dharma, the protector of your dharma. 9th house also represents bhagya, fortune, long distance journeys. In case your dasha antadasha is supportive, this time period, next 18 months, you likely to travel a lot. Foreign travel, long distance journey. From a remedial point of view, if you were to channelize this Rahu, go on spiritual retreats or go on to visit such places that help you connect with the nature, that helps you isolate yourself for a bit, which can give you some introspection, some reflection. You're also likely to go for higher learning. Higher education could be favorable in case you have a nice dasha, or Saturn is well placed in your chart. It is connected to Kendra or quadrant houses. If it is well placed in exaltation or friendly signs or own sign, this could be a very good time for higher education. Okay. You will challenge traditional views of other people because Rahu likes to have unconventional ways. Okay. So you would probably challenge your bosses, you will challenge the status quo. You will challenge other people's ideology because you will have a very strong ideology. It could be a new ideology. And that is something which you will be very protective about. So these are the kind of conversations that you would like to get into. So you can have some authority issues. So be cautious when you're dealing with people who have authority. And if you're challenging the status quo, if you're putting your point across, make sure that you have enough data, enough evidence, and you're just not beating around the bush, because otherwise it could have detrimental effects on your work scenario. But you're likely to succeed because fortune will favor you, and this is quite an excellent time for learning anything new. Change is inevitable. You're going on a journey. Ketu in the third house is a fiery planet, does very well in the sign of Leo. It's not one of the most ideal planets for Gemini ascendants, so it does not do very bad in the third house. Ketu needs direction here. Ketu needs guidance. All that you need here is guidance of someone else, just a reassurance. You might be taking the right decision, but pause, take a step back and get some advice from others, or probably an acknowledgement that you're probably taking the right decision. Third house represents your siblings, younger co-borns particularly. So you're likely to have some conflict or a difference of opinion or distance from your siblings. This can also bring in short journeys because Ketu is the co-ruler of your sixth house. So this will bring in short journeys related to job. You can change your place, you can shift your residence. This could be also quite possible during this time. You will not be very much interested in routine communication. You would probably try to withdraw from regular updates, regular communication. And this is where you have to naturally ensure that you stay courageous. You build plenty of resilience. So work out, exercise each and every day. Journal. How do you strengthen this Ketu in the third house? You write, you use your hands, you exercise in the gym. And of course, you take new initiatives. You step into the situation and take ownership of this initiative, and you do not step away, because not communicating is not the solution. So you have to ensure that you're in there. You're consciously in charge of the situation. You do not shy away from putting efforts because you could have some lethargy over the next few months. This is where you have to be cautious. You will build a lot of philosophical knowledge over the next few months. Sometimes it could be an overdose of philosophy as well, which other people might not be able to understand, or they will face problems in connecting. Stay grounded, keep your ego aside, right? Even if you have a lot of knowledge, don't think that you know it all. So you have to manage your feelings here. It is excellent for any spiritual breakthrough and to kill your own arrogance, right? So because you will develop arrogance, and this is somewhere you have to control by building a strong foundation, by building a strong belief system. Remedy Jupiter. Look up to Jupiter to channelize the energies of this Ketu in the third house. And if you were to remedy your Rahu, then you have to look up to Buddha, Mercury. Either worship Lord Vishnu or use a Buddha mantra. In case you're going through a favorable dasha, antadasha, there could be a gemstone of Mercury, that is emerald, which might be suitable for you depending on various other circumstances and situations. A fair assessment needs to be done, but anything and everything to strengthen your Mercury, to channelize the energies of this Rahu and ensure you get support of Bhagya, because when Rahu is in trines, we should remedy Mercury in any case, and that is also your Lagna Lord. And I hope you have a fruitful transit. Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. This Rahu Ketu transit is happening in your 8 and 2 axis. Rahu is about obsession, expansion, enemies of your mind. It wants to eat, consume everything and anything in this world. Ketu is opposite. Ketu is about isolation, separation. It's the cut. It is all about solitude, spirituality, moksha seeker. These are very opposite energies. 8 and 2 axis is such an axis in life that brings a lot of suddenness in life. Anything and everything will happen all of a sudden. when you're least expecting. This could be a good news and this could be a not so good news as well. And that is something or a way of life that you have to be mentally prepared for the next 18 months. Because Rahu, though he is comfortable in the sign of Aquarius, but he is making a transit in the 8th house. 8th house represents longevity, but it represents suddenness. Rahu itself is a significator of suddenness because Rahu and Ketu cause eclipse, which itself signifies suddenness. Suddenly it gets dark, suddenly it's bright or light up again. And therefore in the 8th house it will bring sudden upheavals. Your interest will also be very high in occult sciences, in Jyotish, in astrology, in any research related subject. So you must take up such subjects. But be prepared for any sudden ups and downs, and transformation is really inevitable. If you're expecting inheritance, since Rahu is your co-8th lord, depending on the placement of Saturn in your chart, you can have some karma. You will have some karma related to inheritance matters. Either you will deal with it, some paperwork, whether you gain or not, or you don't gain from it, would depend on your ongoing dasha and antardasha. This time period can also make you a lot secretive. Now, sometimes secrets are good, sometimes they are not so good. So you have to weigh in the situation, right? If you're being secretive about your plans, about your finances, about your career moves, about your job, very good. If you're secret about your entrepreneurship venture or some decisions that you're taking, very good. But if you're being secretive about your relationship, about your personal life, and some of these factors, then it could be detrimental for you. Okay. You will feel a lot of intensity coming in your life. So anything that you will do it with a lot of intensity. If you play a sport, you will have a lot of intensity there, right? So you have to be careful while driving particularly, because you will likely to adopt this intense behavior. So you have to channelize your temperament, because you will have temperamental issues, and this is something which you will channelize through meditation, regular pranayam. Ketu in the 2nd house could bring in disinterest with regards to matters pertaining to the 2nd house. 2nd house represents your wealth, your accumulation, your family and values related to family, how you deal with your money, how you deal with your finances. So on a brighter side, you will be not so bothered about the money you have. You would like to donate, you would like to help others. But at the same time, this could cause a little bit of a friction or a disinterest with regards to family matters. Okay. So you have to ensure that you keep yourself hydrated all through the time when you are at home, because this way it will help you channelize these fiery energies of Ketu, and of course stay connected to your family. You are likely to practice a lot of silence or mourn, right? So probably the intention of not speaking. Now, if you're not speaking at the right time when you're supposed to speak, this could be bad for your relationship. So you must remember that keeping silent is not the solution. You could be in a conflict with your partner and you decide to stay silent. It is okay to talk. It is okay to debate. It is okay to have a conversation and sort those matters out. If you're going for spiritual practices, it is excellent, and that is how you have to channelize your energies. Because if Ketu demands you, if wants you to stay silent for some time through the day, why not stay silent for half an hour and do meditation? Maun Vrat, or staying silent, is essential for you for at least 20 to 30 minutes in a day. This is how you will probably do your karmas and also channelize the energies of this Ketu. You also need to ensure that you manage your finances. You take care of your money, make important savings or investment related decisions. If there is some major change that is there, and if it could be avoided for the next few months, you must avoid it till the end of 2025 or early 2026, right? Make these energies settle in terms of feeling, and of course both these factors taken into account, 8th and 2 axis, right? So there is a lot of intense inner churning that you have, and you would probably seek some metaphysical truths, some truths about the reality. Why does the world exist? Some research. You would like to go deep, into the depth of anything if you want to understand science. Material life will not be of a greater importance as compared to spiritual awakening for yourself. So spiritually, it's an excellent transit. It is a very good transit. Please make sure that you manage your finances, you manage your temperament all through the time. Remedy Jupiter. So look up to Jupiter, use mantras related to Jupiter. A simple mantra, Om Gurave Namah, if you use it for 12 times, could be highly beneficial for you. Or look up to Sadashiva. Om Namo Bhagavate Sadashivaya. This is an Ashtakshari mantra, 8 syllables, would ensure that both Rahu and Ketu's energy is channelized in the right direction. Leo ascendant signs or the Leo moon signs. Now what is happening here is Rahu and Ketu are changing signs, they are entering Aquarius and Leo, and this is the most precise video that you will find on YouTube. Rahu is now entering your 7th house and Ketu is going to be entering your 1st house, your ascendant. Aquarius and Leo, your 7 and 1 axis is going to be pretty active for the next 18 months. These two are very opposite energies. Okay, Rahu is the significator of intensity, of obsession, illusion, your weaknesses of the mind, your bad decisions in life, and of course the expansion that you could make. Ketu is the signification of inner solitude, isolation, separation, reflection, right? Not having a lot of material desires, be emotionally charged, and of course taking ownership of the situation. Rahu gains directional strength when it is in the 7th house and in transit as well. It's a much comfortable transit that Rahu has because now it is gaining direction. It's finally moving out of your 8th house. You would have had a lot of intensity, a lot of course, suddenness in your life, and now it is moving in your 7th house. So this will bring in intensity towards your partnership, whether it is with your spouse, whether it's about your business, whether it's about those people who are opposite to you. See, 7th house or bhava is also called Daya Bhava. It represents how giving you are in terms of your nature. What is your capacity? If there are malefics in transit or placement, it makes you a philanthropic. It makes you donate to others, help others, do a lot of charity. And this is something which you must do over the next few months from a karmic standpoint. You can also attract some unusual relationships because you have a relationship karma. In case you're not married, you're looking to settle down or probably looking for your partner, you could have some unusual experiences here. So be careful. Make sure that you give yourself enough time because you could be susceptible towards other people breaking your trust. So you have to be very careful of these experiences here. Okay. You might also be under the risk of illusions because the expectations of other people could be really high, and striking a balance, right, meeting up to those expectations could be a bit challenging because your partner might come up with some unusual, unrealistic demands, and this is where you have to probably negotiate, you have to communicate and ensure that you probably are aligned and on the same page. But there are blessings of Lord Vishnu, Shri Hari during this time. Rahu gains directional strength. So of course, depending on the natal placement of Saturn and Surya, Sun in your chart, you have to remedy Sun. So look up to your Lagna Lord and do remedies related to Sun in order to channelize the most. Ketu in the 1st house itself is inner detachment. So 1st house is your inner self, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, right? So Ketu would cause a sense of detachment because you would probably go on a journey of isolation. So you need to isolate yourself. See, you have two choices here because either Ketu will force you to isolate yourself or you could take some conscious steps. I always encourage people, if you have Ketu making a transit in your Lagna, sitting in the Lagna, go on a solo trip, at least for a day or two, or probably spend a few hours with your own self. This is where you're probably taking care of your karmic debt which you have, which will work very well, and you will suffer less. Spiritually, it's an excellent time. Okay, you will be very protective about your identity because 1st house is the identity, and Ketu in the 1st house causes a threat to your identity. So you will be very protective. You would probably feel that, okay, it's an identity crisis situation for you. When you travel, you have to take care of your personal documents. This time you have to do that, and of course otherwise as well. your cards, your documents, your IDs, and of course anything that is associated to yourself. You have to take care of all these things. Spiritually, it's a spiritually uplifting transit. So every day 30 to 45 minutes of yoga meditation could be extremely beneficial, could be extremely helpful for you. And do that in the morning hours. Rise with the sunrise, because if you strengthen your Surya, sun, you're taking care of this Ketu. First house is also the trinal house. So the other planet that you must look up to during this time to channelize Ketu is Jupiter. Do a mantra of Guru, a simple Guru mantra, that is Om Guruve Namah, or you could use a Panchakshari, Shiva Panchakshari, that is Namah Shivaya, and you will be protected. So you need to understand the conflicting feelings here between the 7th and the 1st house. Your relationships are likely to dominate. So while your partner dominates, it is okay. Listen to your partner. Take their advice into account, but make sure that you set these expectations in a mutual manner. Otherwise, you will feel a sense of low self-esteem, and you have to protect your self-esteem over the next few months. And in order to avoid any kind of confusion, because Rahu and Ketu cause confusion, these cause illusion, you have to build a divine connection through spirituality, through mantra sadhana, through meditation. Go out there, connect with the nature. The best remedy is to go on a solo trip, and that is how you will probably experience enlightenment. Your thoughts will get clear, and when thoughts get clear, you make some of the best decisions in your life. And I hope you have a good time. The Virgo ascendant signs, or the Virgo moon signs. So what is happening in Rahu and Ketu's transit, which is the biggest shift of the year 2025. Here Rahu is now entering your 6th house. Ketu is going to be entering your 12th house. These are both opposite energies. Rahu is Maya, illusion, extravagance, abundance, expansion, consumption, lots of consumption, weaknesses of your mind, bad decisions, bad learning, bad education. Ketu is isolation, spirituality. It's like a cut. It does not have a lot of material desires. It does not have desires as a whole. It's a very non-materialistic graha. It does not care in terms of who's who and what you want to do. So this is happening between your 6th and the 12th axis. So your 6-12 axis is pretty active for the next year and a half. So Rahu in the 6th house does very well. This is one placement, and Rahu likes your Lagna Lord Mercury. It has a mutual respect towards Mercury. Some school of thoughts also say that Rahu is the co-ruler of the sign of Virgo. Virgo is its Mool Trikon sign, or its own sign. Some school of thoughts also have this indication, but it also rules the sign of Aquarius. So it's the 6th lord making a transit in the 6th house. So you have this opportunity to overcome any opposition, any kind of enemies, big, small, heavy, right? The toughest of enemies of all. Repaying your debts, repaying your loans, overcoming any health related issues or any illness that you've been probably facing through all this time. This is an opportunity for you to fix all of these things, because the power of Rahu in the 6th house is a blessing to have. This will help you overcome all of these obstacles, because Rahu so far has been making a transit in the 7th house. Of course, it might have created some conflicting situation when it comes to relationship, when it comes to those people who are opposite to you. If you're running a business, you could come up with new ideas that are unconventional, that are out of the box, that are highly technological. So of course, it's a good time to upskill yourself from a technological point of view, because 6th house also represents your job. And you know, Rahu is the significator there when it comes to modern sciences, when it comes to the latest of technology, the unconventional ways of doing things, how you can get a competitive success. So if you're sitting with in competitive examination, you could have some gains, you could have some benefits there. In case you are looking forward to having growth, because this is the Upachaya Bhava and Rahu does very well. So it could make you change jobs. So you could change jobs in the next few months, because this house represents job. From a remedial point of view, Rahu wants you to do seva, service towards the society. Feed the needy, feed those who are hungry. So offer food to people, donate in places of worship, any food items that could be absolutely beneficial for you. 6-12 axis is relatively a much better axis for both Rahu and Ketu. This Ketu in the 12th house is a significator of moksha, spirituality. So it gives you a nice inner spiritual journey. But you know, there's always flip side of the coin. So Ketu is like a cut. All right. If in case the situation is not favorable for you, if you have a weak Surya in your chart, a weak sun in your chart, then you will step away from any spiritual activities. You would not want to do it. That's how Ketu works, because 12th house is the house of moksha, spirituality, your expenses. Of course, it will help you cut your expenditure. It will help you reduce the kind of burden that you've had when it comes to dealing with your finances. It could give you some bad dreams that you have to deal with. So you have to take care of your sleep, right? So spiritually, it is good as long as you manage these energies and you strengthen your Surya. It can bring some foreign connections. See, Ketu for Virgo ascendants is the co-third lord. And now it is making a transit in the 12th house. So the lord who co-rules communication, change, would help you build some foreign connections that will increase, because both these planets, they represent foreigners. They represent people from distant lands, from distance, right? This will give you a lot of detachment from the material world, because you will be conscious of spending your money. You will not be a spendthrift, which is good news. So it's an excellent time to save and save as much as you can, right? But from a feeling point of view, you will be in a conflicting situation, because you will battle, you know, between material and spiritual energy, because 6th house is a lot of material energy. It's a tamas house. It's one of the dusthanas. 12th house also dusthana, right? But one holds a lot of material importance, because it talks about our daily life, things that we do on a day-to-day basis. And 12th house is about renunciation, moksha. So you will have this internal battle, you know, conflict. I want to have the best of cars, the best of luxuries, but I want to probably be a moksha seeker. I want to probably step away from this mundane material world and spend some time in isolation. So you need a lot of balance here. Look up to Mercury, your ascendant lord. That is who you need to strengthen all through the time in order to channelize these energies. Use Mercury's Mool mantra or worship Lord Vishnu. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. So what is happening now is Rahu and Ketu are making a transit in your 5 and 11 axis, where Rahu is now going to be entering your 5th house. Ketu is going to be entering in your 11th house in the signs of Aquarius and Leo. We must always study this transit together. These two planets are inseparable. Though Rahu is the head, Ketu is the body, but you cannot have a specific transit reading of Rahu and Ketu separately from each other. This is not the right way, in my opinion. Now, Rahu is going to be making a transit in the 5th house. 5th house is the house of your creativity, it's the house of future. Positional success is seen from the 5th house. Unconditional love is seen from the 6th house. Your children, so it plays a very important role in your future, what you will do, your future pursuits. We also see a sense of corruption from 5th house. This is also the house of fall, because with power comes corruption. This is the Rajya Bhava, or the house of kingdom. 11th house is the house of material gains, your material comforts, your wider social network, bigger enemies, because this is also 6th from the 6th house. So what is Rahu doing? Rahu is giving you heightened creativity during this time. So you will be very much creative, because Rahu is the significator of expansion. So you would like to take more risks in your life. So if you are at a stage wherein you have to start something new that involves a significant amount of risk, or probably you're picking up a project that is risky, this is your time to take that initiative. This is your time to manifest your future. This is a perfect time to have new beginnings, because you will naturally be very expansive when it comes to creativity. You will adopt creative means. You will be romantic, but you have to be careful of not turning this romanticism into obsession, because you could become obsessive of things, not necessarily a person, but things that are near or dear to you. Maybe your own things, the things that you own, maybe your vehicle, or your television set, your electronic gadgets. You could hold a greater sense of obsession, either towards your phone, towards your laptop, towards your vehicle, towards things that you own, towards your clothes. This is where you have to be a bit careful. Now you can have or probably deal with some speculations during this time. So, but whether you'll have gains or not, that depends on your ongoing dasha and dasha. But you have to avoid any kind of shortcuts when it comes to making money, when it comes to dealing with your finances, your wealth. There are no shortcuts to earning. There are no shortcuts to success. Avoid extravagance, indulgence, because Rahu can really make you indulge. You have to remedy Mercury in order to channelize the best qualities and energies of this Rahu. Because from a day lord sequence, Mercury comes 6th from your Rahu from a day lordship sequence point of view. So the remedy comes from Mercury. Mantras related to Mercury will really help you because Rahu is making a transit in the 5th house. Ketu, on the other hand, is in the 11th house, which means that there is going to be some karma pertaining to your friendships, pertaining to your friends, which could detach you, which could cause or probably become a reason for conflict. You will also be involved in other people's conflict, and this is where you have to be careful because you will end up spoiling your relationship with your friends. You will have less material ambitions. You will be less focused towards making money, towards probably indulging in all the material comforts in your life, because what your soul demands during this time is to find meaningful connections. So you will probably face the reality, some true colors of people who are seemingly close in your life will come to reality. So you will face the reality. It could be harsh as well, but this time period you will look forward to build some meaningful connections. I would advise you to go limited when it comes to making friends, when it comes to building acquaintances. Take your own time in terms of finding what these real connections mean for you and how these people can help you. See, Ketu can give you money as well. It can give you finances too. Remember, Ketu is your co-second lord. It is forming a very nice Dhan yoga in your 11th house, a wealth yoga. So your finances are going to improve, but you will have low desire in order to use your money, use your finances. Either you can invest or park your funds somewhere, and any major decisions that you have to take where your money is involved, you can probably take that at a later point in time. Now, these are very opposite energies. On one hand, you will develop an extreme passion towards love, towards your children. If you have children, definitely this time period needs a lot of attention. Your communication is going to improve, your relationship is going to improve with your children. One particular day, you will be extremely social. So you will feel a situation of burnout, and the next day you would want to isolate yourself. You would probably want to stay alone and not have any social expansion, or probably you will become antisocial. So these will be very opposite energies that you will have to deal with. See, balancing is the key, and this is where you have to balance your ego, because Rahu in the 5th house can make you a lot egoistic. So you have to stay grounded, you have to stay humble, respect other people, because with higher knowledge, with superior knowledge, with position, with authoritativeness comes ego, and that could be quite detrimental. So you have to detach yourself from the situation in order to channelize your ego. If you were to improve Ketu in the 11th house, you look up to your Lagna Lord Venus, to Shukra. Do remedies related to Mercury and Venus in order to maximize your opportunity during this time. Scorpio ascendant signs or the Scorpio moon signs. Rahu and Ketu's transit is happening in a very important axis of life, which is the 4 and 10 axis, because this is where two Kendra lords get involved, two Kendra houses get involved. And it is said that when Rahu and Ketu are placed in quadrant houses, and if they are connected with either the triangle rods or the quadrant rods himself, then they become Yoga Karak, or they give the most favorable results, right? But these energies are very opposite. On one hand, if Rahu wants to expand, wants to, of course, give you a lot of illusion as well, but some bad decision making capability as well. Ketu wants to detach, wants you to slow down. So Rahu wants to pick up the pace, but Ketu says, hold on, slow down. You're going too fast, right? What will you do with all this material comfort, with all this material life? You have to spend some time in isolation. You have to do your meditation. You have to do your prayers. So these are very opposite energies. Rahu in the 4th house. Rahu is a very flamboyant planet. It's a very unconventional planet. 4th house represents your home. Rahu represents a shift, and that can happen in a sudden manner. So suddenly you could be required to change your residence. So be prepared for it. Either you could change your residence, maybe you move from one house to the other, you could change cities, you could change countries as well. This would depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha. So if you're looking forward to probably obtaining a foreign residency or probably a move outside of your home country, this time period could be favorable for you because a foreign relocation could be possible. You will have restlessness at the emotional level because Rahu in the 4th house causes a sense of restlessness. You would not stick to one place, you would want to move around. Constantly you would want to do some of the things. There might be tens and hundreds of things and ideas going on in your mind which could cause a sense of restlessness. And this is where you have to take a pause and slow down, meditate, practice yoga, sadhana, something that you need. See, your 410 axis is connected, career gains are inevitable if you work towards it, right? Now, this could make your home life a little bit unstable, a little bit insecure, or probably you will find a difficult time in terms of striking a balance between your work and your home life. This is where you have to, of course, draw a line because you can face a situation of burnout. You will succeed from a work point of view, from a career point of view. You will have growth. But with this growth, there will be some expectations, there will be a situation of burnout which you have to probably vary. Ketu in the 10th house, okay, your job, your career, in spite of being good, in spite of being stable, you could come to a situation wherein you might find that this is unfulfilling. And this could be the right time for you to make a change because you will be able to very easily disconnect yourself, discontinue from the current situation and very quickly adapt to the new situation. By the virtue of your external environment, it will make you very adaptive at work. Ketu in Leo in the 10th house does very well because Ketu is a fiery planet. It gains directional strength in the 10th house. And this is where you perform to the best of your capability and capacity because you will gain a lot of knowledge related to work. You will know some of those things and you will learn some of those things which others don't. This will make you superior. But avoid any kind of ego because this is how you will create conflict and you will build enemies at work. And these enemies will be headless just like Ketu is. So you have to be careful of other people at work. So avoid sharing interesting ideas, something that you want to initiate. Go ahead and start. Put that plan in place without discussing those ideas with a lot of people. Keep this secret to yourself. In case you have some new business plans, keep it to yourself. In case you have a new job opportunity in the pipeline, keep it to yourself and give yourself certain direction. You have to do that yourself without relying on other people. You need self-direction, self-decision making. So these are conflicting energies, right? You will crave for emotional comfort. You will probably have to have that comfort. So for that, travel, step out of your comfort zone, connect with the nature. This is how you'll also probably be disconnected. So at the karmic level, if you go on travel, you will feel disconnected. And of course, you will not think about all the other worldly achievements because Ketu will demand you to work, will demand you to progress, prosper at work, but not be very much bothered about the worldly achievements, not by the virtue of getting some sort of recognition because that's something which Ketu does not want. Look up to Surya, Sun, who is the 10th Lord, and you have to channelize your Sun. You have to ensure that you start your day early. You can also have some juggle between, and of course, if you work in flexible environment, re-establish your office at home. Make it nice, neat and clean, tidy up. You have to declutter your home and also your workspace. Clean it yourself once a week. Any open spaces in your house, whether your apartment or a villa, wherever you live, if you have a balcony or a terrace, please clean it at least once a week. This is how you will be able to channelize the energies of both this Rahu as well as Ketu over the next few months. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. The biggest shift of the year is happening when Rahu is entering Aquarius, Ketu is entering Leo. We must always check this transit together because these two planets, though one is the head, the other is the body, they are inseparable from each other. You cannot just have a sole transit of Rahu working separately in isolation than Ketu. No, it doesn't work that way, right? So Rahu is now making a transit in your 3rd house and Ketu will be making a transit in your 9th house. So your 3 and 9 axis is going to be pretty active. This is a very important axis because this axis represents new beginnings. We see journeys from this axis, and journey doesn't necessarily mean that you will travel. This represents change. Rahu is the significator of bold ideas, boldness, extravagance, expansion. 3rd house is the house of communication. So it will make your communication quite bold. You will be courageous. You will not hesitate to speak. You will speak up. What you need to bring in is clarity in what you say. That should be supported with logic. So any argument that you make should have some logical support towards that argument, right? It will be beneficial for you. This time period will make you more assertive when it comes to communication. Rahu does very well in the 3rd house because this is one of the Upachaya bhavas. Having Rahu in 3, 6 and 11 houses is one of the biggest blessings for anyone. This house represents travel, short journeys. So you can expect yourself to go on journey. If these journeys are for spiritual reasons, spiritual pursuits, this can also be a remedial measure for you. 3rd house represents your desires. It is the Kama Bhava. And Rahu is a significator of desires. It's got very high desires. So you will have strong desires to expand, strong, huge desires to change, to make a move, to move places, to switch jobs, to move countries. But you have to hold on. There will be a number of things that are going on in your mind, but you have to think about what is in the best interest for yourself and the other people who are around you. You have to take their interest into account as well. So don't become selfish during this time, because this time period could make you greedy, could make you a lot self-centered. If it's in the best interest of yourself, yes, do it. You need self-care. If you care about yourself and that is the reason you're self-centered, it is good for you. But most of the time these movements could bring in a sense of restless energies, and this is how you have to channelize it. Work out, exercise, use your energies in the right direction. 3rd house represents your hands. Journal, pen down your thoughts and try to channelize these energies. Ketu making a transit in the 9th house. Ketu is the significator of detachment, the significator of disinterest, shifting away, moving away. It's like a cut. 9th house is your religion, it's your dharma, it's your bhagya, your guru, your father. So this could make you disinterested in your own religion, in your own dharma, or this could bring in shifting tendencies. This is where you have to be mindful of the fact and ensure that you protect your dharma. There is definitely some karma that you have with regards to your relationship with your father, your guru or your teacher, and this is what you have to probably ensure that you stay in touch, that you communicate, you listen to your father, because your father can really go out of the way to help you, to support you during this time. See, it's good to question your own belief. So if you have been following a belief system, you question that, you try to find the right answers, but think about it, do not deviate from your path, because something that you've built over the course of time. Spiritually, it's an exponential time, it's quite an experiential time, because you would want to experience other aspects, what other systems say when it comes to spirituality. And this is where I would recommend you to read a lot of books, read Vedas, read Purans, read a lot of ancient knowledge and scriptures, get higher learning, because Ketu, and of course if you read these scriptures, you're strengthening your Jupiter, because Jupiter is the controller and significator of all Vedas, and he's your Lagna Lord, right? And he's making an important transit as well. And this is how you will probably channelize these energies and strengthen your Ketu if you read books. See, these are very opposite energies here. So, the 3 and 9 axis, Rahu and Ketu. You will become a lot more communicative, a lot more courageous. You will probably go on some adventure travels. You would want to take up some adventure sports. You will be very talkative, right? But you will end up questioning everything. You will question, you will ask a lot of why. Especially you will question your religion, you will question your lineage, you will question your value system. So try to find the right answers that are convincing for you, right? And it is time to build personal courage. Some of the things that you've not been able to do in the past, if you've not been able to say a no to any kind of work in the past, now is the time. And it will be important for you to slow down with all this constant change. Change of place is inevitable, change of job is inevitable, and you must make the most of these opportunities for you. To channelize the energies of Ketu, you have to look up to your Lagna Lord Jupiter. Do a mantra related to Jupiter, or embrace things, pacify Jupiter, Bij mantra of Jupiter, or a simple Guru mantra, that is Om Gurave Namah. You should do 12 times in order to make the most of this time. Capricorn ascendant signs or the Capricorn moon signs. Rahu and Ketu's transit in Aquarius and Leo now is happening in your 2 and 8 axis, where Rahu Maharaj is going to be entering your 2nd house and Ketu Maharaj is going to be entering your 8th house. Now this axis is a little bit complex because it promotes suddenness in life, sudden events, sudden shifts, sudden ups and downs, which includes transformation as well. These two planets, or shadowy planets rather, have very opposite energies. Rahu is all about hunger, it has a lot of hunger, a lot of expansion. Ketu has no hunger, no material desire, because it's a body. One is the head, the other is the body. One has a lot of thinking, the other has no thinking, or it's a very disinterested graha, that is Ketu. So Rahu here is going to be entering your 2nd house in Aquarius, and 2nd house represents your accumulation, whatever you accumulate, which includes your finances. So we see wealth accumulation from this house, your family, your food, what you eat, what you consume. Your values are seen from the 2nd house. Those people who you would like to protect, your sense of protection is seen from this house. Rahu will make you hungry for all these matters. You will have a hunger for wealth. You will have a hunger for accumulation. You will constantly try to find out new ways of earning wealth, new ways of earning money, new ways of getting recognition, how you could work towards getting recognition, because you would feel that being recognized is equal to being successful. You will build a value-based system or ecosystem around your place, but that could make you rigid. That could bring in a sense of ego as well, because you would be so you would have so much conviction, and you will be so strongly focused towards your own values, towards your own principles, that you would want to enforce this system to others who are around you. So this could create a little bit of friction at home, and this is where you have to stay grounded. You have to avoid any kind of ego situation. You will focus on building assets. So this year you will take, for the next 1.5 years, you will take some important decision pertaining to your assets, pertaining to your real estate. You will either buy or sell your car, either you buy a new car or sell your car, you will buy a new home, or probably you will sell one of your properties, one of your assets, and possibly this will also help you in coming up with some unconventional means when it comes to dealing with your finances. And this is where you have to be careful, because there are no shortcuts to earn wealth. So be very careful of taking the right decisions and getting into right means of making wealth. You're also likely to go through some changes in your dietary requirement. So avoid extravagance, avoid overindulgence. Otherwise, that could be detrimental towards your health and well-being. Remedy your Lagna Lord Saturn, and Saturn is also your 2nd Lord. So any remedy related to Saturn will help you channelize these energies of Rahu. Ketu, on the other hand, in the 8th house. 8th house is the house of longevity, suddenness, deep transformation. Places which are across the sea, far off, distant places are seen from the 8th house. Unknown lands, unknown territories. So Ketu gives you an emotional withdrawal kind of a situation from this house. So you will be very well be able to disconnect from any situation or a person emotionally. So this will help you become more intelligent at an emotional level. So this is good for you, because when it builds your intuitive capability and intuitive insights, you're able to manage different kinds of emotions around you. So at one hand, you're probably invested yourself, deeply connected to something, but if the situation demands, you will be able to make that shift very easily. Okay, you will yourself be a lot interested in transformation, in your body transformation, in anything to do with your physical transformation and your mental health. You will be very conscious of doing those things that support your mental well-being. Ketu in the 8th house helps you conquer your weaknesses, right? Because we call it Nija dosha, that is your weakness. some things that you don't have control over, that you have to do. But this will help you transform physically as well as mentally. Emotionally, you are very much in control of the situation, in charge of the situation. Darker side, this will make you avoid certain situation, avoid certain conflict, avoid certain conversations. You would probably want to step away from the situation, and this could be detrimental for your health and well-being. See, 8th house plays a very important role in marital harmony, marital relationship, fulfillment of your marriage. So this is where for the next 18 months you have to be careful and you have to protect your existing relationship, right? You can either make or break your relationship during this time. So this is where you have to be careful. So in terms of these conflicting energies, you will have a strong sense of material desires, inclination towards money, finances, towards your family, which is good. But that inner detachment, because you will be emotionally very well, you will be emotionally very strong, you will be emotionally resilient. So there is a kind of a tug of war that's happening between your sense of security and your sense of emotional balance, and this is what you need to channelize. Look up to Saturn and look up to Jupiter in order to channelize the energies of both Rahu as well as Ketu during this time. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. So Rahu and Ketu are changing signs and going to be staying in your 1 and 7 axis for the next 18 months till the end of 2026. So this transit is very important for you, and we must read Rahu and Ketu's transit together, because in spite of being the head and the body, they are inseparable. The energies are very conflicting, but we must read them together, because you cannot have a standalone report on Rahu's transit and on Ketu's transit only. No, that's not how it works. There is a lot of misinformation. We will also be living in the era of misinformation during Rahu and Ketu's transit in Aquarius and Leo. Rahu is the significator of amplification. So anything that comes in contact with any planet, any house, bhava, it amplifies the effects. It expands the effect. First house is your self-ego. It is your charisma, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are. It is your personality, your intelligence, your power of making decisions. It is your identity after all. So you will have your ego, your identity will be amplified. So you would naturally develop ego because you would want to conquer and capture everything. So this could cause a detrimental effect when it comes to other people. As long as you channelize your ego, this could be an extremely beneficial transit or time for you, condition if you channelize your ego. You must focus on your individuality and of course your individual preferences, but of course take care of other people's, respect other people's opinion as well, and take care of their demands too and their expectations too, because see, you will have to deal with these heavy expectations between other people and yourself, and that could probably lead to certain sense of insecurity, because you will likely develop attention seeking behavior. So Rahu wants to seek attention of other people, so it loves attention, it loves to grabs because it's unconventional. So maybe you will start wearing the kind of clothes that attract others, you will carry yourself in a way that others should notice you, you will probably wear a kind of accessories, or you will do something or the other with your appearance that makes you attractive, that makes you get more attention of other people. So if you are living in the world of course we are all living in the world of social media, so this time period could be very good to get attention of people on social media channels, for you to influence others for the right reason, for the right behaviors. If you were to seek attention of others, do that by the virtue of your knowledge. Spread the right kind of knowledge and influence people with the right reason, not for the wrong reason. Ketu on the other side in 7th house, there's a lot of fear that people create that, oh, Ketu in the 7th house is very bad for a relationship. Okay, see, it does create disconnect, but it also builds space in relationship. That does bring in a sense of disconnection. So you will be emotionally in control of the situation. You could step away from the situation and you can step into the situation as well, right? Your partner may seem like a spiritual person to you or someone who's distant, right? So this is also there. So I mean, one of the remedies that I give to people is have some spiritual practices with your partner. Do a yoga session together or a meditation session together, or go on a journey, go on a spiritual travel to a shrine, to a place of worship. Do that together from a karmic standpoint, because this time period is really testing your balance when it comes to partnerships of all kind, when it comes to relationship. Ketu is a natural malefic graha. 7th house is also the daya bhava. It is your ability to give others, offer help. So this time period will make you a lot giving in nature. You will donate, you will help others. From a karmic standpoint, you must donate to those people who have any form of physical disability or who are physically challenged, who have a sense of discomfort there. So you work towards them, you help them in the best of your capacity from a karmic standpoint. And of course, do a lot of spiritual practices with your partner. See, the conflicting energies here from a feeling standpoint is there's a lot of focus on yourself. Okay, if there's a greater focus on yourself, your relationship will suffer. If there's plenty of focus on relationship, you will suffer. So you have to strike the balance here, right? So that's the best way. So for Rahu, you must remedy Mercury. When Rahu is in Lagna, ascendant, you must look up to Mercury. Use a simple Vishnu mantra, that is Om Vishnave Namah, in order to channelize the most of these energies. The best way to channelize is that, of course, you purposefully focus on individuality, but you respect other people's opinion, other people's energy and their level of interaction as well. This is something which you must keep in mind all through the time. Another thing Rahu and Ketu is likely to do or probably lead to a conflicting situation is the imbalance between what your soul wants and of course what other people's expectations are, and that could be opposite in nature. That could be very different. So for example, at workplace, you want a sense of direction, you want to have a certain sense of goals or objectives, but what you've been given as part of work could be very different, could be absolutely new, where you'll have to upskill yourself, you will have to find unconventional ways of working things around, and this could be a little bit challenging for you in order to sail through this time, and please remedy Mercury. Now let us talk about Pisces ascendants and what's happening with Pisces ascendants as Rahu and Ketu change signs and they move through Aquarius and Leo. This is happening in your 12 and 6 axis. So whenever lunar nodes make this shift, and this is the biggest planetary shift of the year 2025, because this is going to last till the end of 2026. Rahu is the head, Ketu is the body. Rahu is all about abundance, extravagance. It has a sense of expansion. It is your obsession. Ketu is your detachment. It is the solitude. It is the moksha seeker. It is very non-materialistic, wherein Rahu is highly materialistic. So these are very opposite energies here. These create illusions. So Rahu is now making a transit in the 12th house and Ketu will be making a transit in your 6th house. So your 12-6 axis, which holds a greater importance in spiritual pursuits, is going to be very active. So it's a very spiritually enlightening transit for you for the next 18 months, if I were to put it in that manner. 12th house represents your losses, expenditure, spirituality, your sleep, bed comforts, your higher self-consciousness, because we see a sense of self-awareness from the 12th house. Your ability to give, your ability to donate is seen from the 12th house. Rahu is quest, it is that thirst, it is hunger. So it will give you that spiritual quest. It will make you very hungry for all kinds of spiritual knowledge, travel to other countries, foreign lands, foreign places, distant places. So in case you've been looking forward to settling outside of your home country, this could be a favorable time in case your dasha antardasha is being supportive. But this time period can also cause any sort of sleep disturbances. So you have to protect your sleep. You have to take care of your sleep, because if you do that, you will stay energized all through the day. Otherwise, you will feel lethargic. You will feel very lazy. Now, you can also have some indulgences over the next 18 months, and some of these indulgences will be very secretive. You will not share what you are indulging yourself into. So make sure that you have a right kind of company, and probably this will help you, give up some of the bad habits that you have and adopt good habits. Make sure that you connect and be with good people, with kind people, with trustworthy people, with people who are happy and who have good habits. because you are likely to build very strong connections with people who have authority over the next 18 months. You're likely to gain favors from authority. You're likely to come in contact with very highly influential people. You will build knowledge, you will build self-awareness. I would highly encourage you to do a self-awareness exercise or a SWOT analysis, understand your key strengths and how you can build on your key strengths. And of course, look at your opportunity areas as well. Ketu on the other side in the 6th house is very opposite. So you will probably lack any kind of drive when it comes to fighting back, when it comes to competition. You would let go of things, right? If there are enemies, if there is someone who's troubling you, you will probably forgive them very easily, very fast, right? So on the brighter side, it is helping you develop a habit of letting go. But at the same time, you need to ensure that there could be certain battles that you have to engage yourself in. Ketu in the 6th house in transit and also by the virtue of placement gives headless enemies, unknown enemies. These could be strong as well. I mean, depends on the natal placement and of course other factors as well, which includes your 6th lord. And in this case, it is Surya. Read Aditya Hridayam on a daily basis if you were to face enemies, if you were to go on battle with these enemies and come out victorious. Now, in terms of things that you do on a day-to-day basis, you would like to make a big change, a drastic change in your routine. This is an ideal time based on both Rahu and Ketu's transit to give up some habits and adopt some good, some clean habits, clean eating, healthy eating, because you have to take care of a gut, you have to take care of a digestive system. There's a lot of fire. Leo is a fiery sign, Ketu is a fiery element. So make sure that you keep yourself hydrated. Make sure whatever you consume, what you eat, because otherwise you can have some stomach or digestive issues during this time, which could probably cause some grave health concerns. And this is something which you have to deal with. So your lifestyle is definitely at stake, and this is something which you have to manage. If you adopt a good lifestyle, if you bring those changes, you are on the path of righteousness. You are on the path of good health and well-being, right? So you have to dissolute your ego, your boundaries that you've set, right? Because Rahu in the 12th house can make you egoistic about your own self. And at the same time, you're also seeking liberation. Rahu is very unconventional. It is seeking liberation when it's the 12th house. And Ketu would probably make you shift away from daily habits, daily things. You would probably be disinterested in your job. You would want to quit. You would want to change. You could become a bit restless. And this is what you need to be more self-aware. And you need to have a guided approach. Take some guidance. Take some mentorship. Look up to your Lagna Lord Jupiter. Strengthen Jupiter all through the time in order to ensure that you channelize the energies of both Rahu and Ketu through this time. Spiritually, it is enlightening. Go on travel, connect with the nature, and of course, build greater connect with your partner and avoid ego clashes, avoid ego battles. This is a very clear message. Use a simple Shiva mantra, that is Om Namo Bhagavate Sada Shivaya, to channelize the energies of both Rahu and Ketu, and I wish you the very best. So friends, this was yet another unique, precise, concise video on the energies of Rahu and Ketu's transit, and of course, what cyclical energies are being activated and what you can expect over the next 18 months. I hope you like this video. Stay tuned for more interesting videos. Thank you very much. God bless you all.